Well, Happy New Year and great to have you here with us on the Sports Spectrum Weekly Slant. And I hope you had a wonderful holiday season. And of course, I hope the same for my counterparts here at the Weekly Slant and Brock Heward and Jason Romano. It's great to be with you here on the New Year and continuing with the Weekly Slant. And I'm excited to welcome our guest today, a longtime NFL head coach who is really known for the turnaround that he created down with the Atlanta Falcons. And this week, he's going to be busy getting ready for the Hula Bowl, which is coming your way from Orlando, Florida for the first time. It is the 76th annual Hula Bowl, and we at Sports Spectrum are really proud to be sponsors of this all-star game, which brings together these players that are all hoping to live out their dream, and that, of course, is to play professional football in the National Football League. So we're excited. I'm excited to have former NFL head coach Mike Smith with us, who will be coaching down there on January 15th for the Hula Bowl. And you'll be able to watch all the action that comes your way January 15th, Saturday afternoon, 12 o'clock Eastern time on CBS Sports Network. So just consider this as a way to get set for the action that you'll see there as we chat here with Mike Smith. Well, it is a privilege to welcome Coach Mike Smith here to the Sports Spectrum Weekly Slant. Coach, great to have you here with us. Happy New Year.
Oh, Jade, so glad to be with you, and I hope you and your family had a great holiday.
We did, and same to you. The excitement is building about the Hula Bowl, and you, of course, have the chance to be one of the head coaches out there again. And I just wonder, let's start. I'm just curious what the opportunity means to you.
Well, it means a whole lot. Having been retired for the last few years, this is a chance to get an opportunity to visit with players that are going to be going into the NFL. And in part, some of my experiences, not only as a football coach, but as a 62-year-old man and what he's experienced in his life. And the coaching staff that we've put together for both teams are very experienced. So we're all excited about interacting with all these draft eligible players.
Yeah, experienced. I don't even know if that does justice to the amount of experience on this coaching staff, because it's you. And then on the other side, you have Coach Brian Billick. Wade Phillips is on the staff. You have an OC and a DC that you've named. There's 275 years of NFL coaching experience, I want to say, on this staff.
Yes, there are. And we're excited about getting together and working together because we've all known each other. Some of us have worked on the same staffs, and we've competed against each other and have admired guys for what they've accomplished in their careers. And they're going to be able to impart some of that wisdom on the players that are coming in to play in this Hula Bowl.
When you look at these guys and these are all stars and they're looking to make their dream of playing professional football a reality, what is some of that wisdom? Like you said, the 62 years that you've walked this planet, what are some of the lessons that you try to share with them?
Well, I think the first one is to be yourself. God has created each one of us as individuals, and we need to be ourselves. And I think it helps you when you're trying to go through a job interview that these guys are going through. And it's probably the most intensive job interview that they'll go through. It's long term in terms of the amount of time that you're going to have to spend. It's not a 1-hour interview.
Right.
It's an interview that started when they were probably juniors in college. And now they're getting the opportunity to spend time one-on-one with NFL scouts, NFL personnel directors, and it's important for them to just be yourself and enjoy this process because not many guys get to do it.
Yeah, it's certainly a gift just to be able to go through that process. As much of a grind as it probably is at the same time. But I like how you say it, just to enjoy the process, because I'm sure you would agree with me here. It's like you blink and things are just gone. It goes that fast.
Absolutely. You look at the opportunity that they have in front of them to be a player in the National Football League, and it's only going to be more than likely, it's just going to be a short time of their life. So enjoy it and enjoy those experiences. And you will take those experiences on to your next adventure in life. And you don't know God, God is going to put you in different places throughout your life, but your experiences that you have as an athlete, and if you make it to the NFL, the stand that you have to be able to preach, so to speak, about your experiences, it just magnifies when you're in the National Football League. And it's a very great group of men that play in the National Football League, and you can have so many different platforms as a player in the National Football League.
Coach, can you share a little bit as to how you have seen God create some of those platforms in your own life?
Oh, absolutely. I am a man of faith. I grew up as in a family of 8. I'm the oldest, uh, and I have been very blessed to have a relationship with God and Jesus, and it's been an integral part of my life, my daughter's life. My daughter is involved in Young Life. She tries to give back. She wants to be a teacher. So it affects you in so many ways, and you want to make sure that people understand who you are when you get an opportunity to tell and speak and tell your story. And my story is different than anybody else's. We all have our own individual little fingerprint of our story, and there's been ups and downs, and you want to be able to tell them about the good things and the bad things, and enjoy this journey, not only in the NFL if you're going on to play in the NFL, but enjoy the journey of life.
It's so true because, as I said, it goes so quickly. And I wonder for you, you led a major turnaround with the Atlanta Falcons during your coaching tenure there. And I wonder how your faith helped you throughout that process.
Well, it helped me a lot because when you're a new head coach in the National Football League, more than likely you're coming into a situation that is different because the previous coaching staff, the previous regime was not successful. Very few head coaches go off and ride off into the sunset and retire. We
Sure.
get fired. And I think you have to have a whole lot of faith and belief in you, as a coach and as a man, because you're not just leading guys in X's and O's. You're leading guys to learn how to become a teammate, learn how to transition into being a father, uh, being an uncle, being a best friend. And those are the things that I think that are so important. And I think it's often overlooked that that's the that's the core of our existence, is that we are humans. We interact, and people have tough things going on in their lives. They have good things going on in their lives. And your relationship with God will help you in all of those scenarios that come. And you have to have that faith because it's not all rosy. Uh,
No.
and when I took the job in Atlanta, it was a very difficult situation. I've spoke about this before. The previous head coach quit after 12 games and left a note on the players' lockers. So, I mean, there was one thing. The quarterback was indicted for dog fighting. So there was another dynamic going on. And you've got to have faith in yourself, but you have to have faith in God, that God puts you in that situation for you to make a difference. And when you're put in good situations, bad situations, God puts you there. And it's important that you understand that it's not always going to be rosy. It's not going to be perfect. You've got to be able to adjust and have faith in God that He put you there for a reason.
And then in turn, as a coach and as a leader, you have to be able to take that faith and find a way to share it in a sense that you get all those guys around you to trust you and to trust what you're building. And so you wrote a book on this. You teamed up with John Gordon and wrote a book about how it starts in the locker room. So I just wonder, like, what were the first things that you felt like you had to instill in order to see the process start to move in the right direction?
Well, I think the first thing that you have to do is you have to be able to communicate. And that was one of the first things that I wanted to make sure, is that I wanted to communicate with as many people in the organization as I could face to face. And believe it or not, I wasn't concerned about the 53-man roster or the guys that were on the roster as much as I was concerned about the rest of the people in the building. Uh, that 53-man roster is always changing. The people in the building, the support staff, the people in the training room, the people that work in the ticket sales and all that. I wanted to make sure that they knew that I was there to help them do their job, because if they are successful, the organization is going to be successful. And they had some really tough things that were dealt to them in terms of, the ticket people, how are we going to sell tickets with what's gone on the last year? Well, what can I do to help you? What do we need to do as a team? And my first month I spent walking around the hallways, trying to make sure that I could go in and put my feet underneath their desk and talk to them and say, hey, what can I do, to help you? Let's work together. I know you have issues in your job. I know what my job is. My job's to win football games, but there's more to an organization than just one arm of it. It's important that everybody has positive feelings about the goals that we're trying to set. And I wanted them to know that their goals, their individual goals, were important to me.
How challenging is that in the National Football League? Because, like you said, coaches get fired. I mean, it's not like you get this long window to turn something around, coach.
No, there's not a long window at all. It's a short window, and you've got to be very successful. And unfortunately, we are always going to be judged by that win-loss record. But I try to put that secondary. I try to make sure that I'm going to be judged by the relationships that I have built with everybody in the organization, and want to have that interaction. And still to this day, it's not about, at the end of the day, it's not about the wins and the losses. It's about the relationships that you build with people in your organization. And those are the things that are a lot stronger, believe it or not, than the win-loss record. It's it's those interactions and relationships that you build as a member. And when you're the leader, you're still just a member of the team. You've got to remember that.
Yeah. And those are the things that you remember too. I mean, it's the people, and it's the way that you've helped them and they help you. Those are the lessons that really stick with you,
Yes, and
when you look back and reflect.
yeah, it's so funny to not funny, but it's enlightening, because you've got to look back and you realize that it's not just about the players. It's that they're the main focus of the team, but it's the other people that are your touch points in the organization that you're going to be successful. It's really about the staff that you put together that helps you pick a football team, and then it's the support staff that helps you nurture those relationships. And sometimes, like the trainer or the person that works in the weight room or the person that works in the cafeteria, they can help you build that culture that you need to be successful. And it takes an army. It really does. It's not just one person that's running the organization.
Yeah.
You build this culture by bringing people together with the same cause.
Yeah. And you have to repeat that message over and over again to make sure that people know exactly what it is. I imagine that's part of it. Um,
Absolutely. And it carries over to this Hula Bowl
yeah.
that we're coaching in right now. These young men are going through the process of being drafted and having an opportunity to achieve their goal to be a player in the National Football League. And we as coaches, and the coaches that are involved in this game, are going to be able to sit down. We're going to have practice and we're going to go out on the field and do the practice, but we're going to also have opportunities in the hotel and meetings to sit and interact with these guys. And we've got a great staff of coaches that are on both sides of the ball and on both teams that have experienced millions of times information that they can give, and impart. And I'm looking forward to that part of the experience than actually, getting on the practice field. The practice field is fun, but it's interacting with these guys, these young men that are having an opportunity to make it in the National Football League.
Sure, sure. Well, like you said, it's relationships that it all goes back to. And once again, that's the formation that you're talking about right here. It's having the chance to create that relationship and share in those conversations along the way of preparing for the Hula Bowl. Coach, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about the current landscape of the NFL. Well, I have you here. We know it's crunch time, and we got one more week of the regular season this year, right? It's the bonus week, I guess, because they've extended the season. As you kind of survey the landscape, what do you make of it right now?
Yeah, well, I know this. It's a different season, playing 17 games.
Yeah.
They changed the formatting. The playoffs are a little bit different in terms of only one team getting a bye. So it's been ultra competitive in terms of who's going to get that bye into that second round. It's only one team, and that's a big advantage, and it's very advantageous. I think every NFL season has a different feel to it, and I think this year the feel is different than last year. Of course, last year was kind of a more difficult year because fans weren't in the stands, and the fans are back, so it feels back to some sense of normalcy. I don't watch a whole lot of the games like I used to. I've become a fan, and believe it or not, I don't like to watch games as much on TV because I'm so used to watching them on video with the clicker, and I can run it back, and I want to see all 22 guys. But I do follow it. You can't help but follow the National Football League. It's probably the most popular thing in the United States, without a doubt. But it's going to be interesting to see how the playoffs, unwind. There'll be some surprises. There always are. The people that were predicted to be in the Super Bowl usually don't get there.
Yeah.
So, hey, we get to hang on and watch. Hey, we get to watch real soon. We're one week away from the end of the season, and then hey, we'll put together the playoff field and watch those guys go. Yeah, there'll be some happy people in some cities, and some cities they'll be very disappointed.
That's the truth. Every year, that's the guarantee. That's about the only thing that you can guarantee, but that is the guarantee, right?
Absolutely. That's the one guarantee that not everybody's going to be happy.
Well, listen, Coach, we really appreciate your time here, and we hope you have a great time down in Orlando at the Hula Bowl with the future prospects down there, and your collection of coaches, which is just tremendous.
We're looking to have a very enjoyable time, and we want everybody to enjoy the experience, enjoy the competition, and at the end of the day, we're all children of God.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Coach.
All right. Thank you.
What a fun conversation with Coach Mike Smith. I really love what he said about everything just comes back to relationships, because I think it's so true. And I also just think that as we do sit back and we reflect, which is something that probably many of us have done in the past week, right? The calendar year flips and you take that time to reflect upon, okay, what did this past year bring, and what do I want this new year to bring? And so much of that comes back to, okay, like my relationship with this person or this person or this person or this person impacted me or this person helped me, or I was so grateful that I had a chance to help this person or to serve this person. So I love all the things that he said about the importance of relationships as we're all on this this journey and this gift of life. And it'll be certainly fun to watch him and his counterparts out there on the Hula Bowl. So much experience. I mean, almost 300 years combined of NFL coaching experience out there. It's what a gift for these prospects and these all-stars who are hoping to play in the National Football League to have a chance to learn from the coaches who are going to be out there with them and getting them ready for the Hula Bowl, which comes your way on Saturday, 12 o'clock Eastern time on the CBS Sports Network. And we're so proud here at Sports Spectrum to be partnered with the Hula Bowl and to be able to be part of bringing that to you so you can check out some of the players that you might be seeing on the NFL field come next fall. And as they, continue that job evaluation, if you will, of trying to get to their dream and their passion to play in the National Football League. As always, I just want to say thanks for spending some time with us here on the Sports Spectrum Weekly Slant. It's something that I have really enjoyed throughout the course of this season, and I know I can speak for my colleagues and Jason and Brock that they have enjoyed it as well, and we certainly hope you have. And hey, we're almost at the playoffs. We got one more week of the regular season with the new 17-game season in the National Football League. And then we'll find out. We'll find out what the playoffs are going to bring, and we will be here with you on the Weekly Slant throughout the season. Look forward to seeing you next time.